Hello students, welcome to online tutorial of database management system. My name is Bhavna Singh. I am working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. In today's session, we will discuss about the database management. So let's get started. Students, in today's session, we will start with the lecture 1 of unit 2 and these are the topics that we will covering today. The first one is three-level architecture of DBMS. Second is database schema, various types of database schema, what is instances, what is mapping, and various types of mapping. So the first topic is three levels of database architecture. Now before moving further, let us recall that what is database and what is database management system. See, database management system, it is, if we break this term, it will become database and management system. Where database means it's a collection of data and management system means it is providing a system that is used to retrieve and store data effectively and efficiently inside the database. So now there is a question that why we are studying this database architecture. This term database architecture, it will help us to understand what are the various components of database system and what is the basic relationship between them. See, so far we have studied that database is a collection of data and we are storing the data inside the database. But with the help of this architecture, we get to know that how this data is storing inside the database in actual and what are the various operations that are occurring. So to help to understand that concept, we will study the architecture with its various levels. And as you can see in this diagram that there are three levels. The first one is the internal level, the second one is the conceptual level, and the third one is the external level. We can also call internal level as the physical level, and conceptual level is also known as the logical level, and external level is also known as the view level. So in the next slides we will study about these levels in detail. Now the first level is physical level, which is also known as internal level. It describes the physical storage structure of data in the database, and this level is very close to physical storage of data. At the lowest level, it is stored in the form of bits, and at the highest level it can be viewed in the form of files. That means this level describes that whatever data we are entering into the database, how it is actually stored in that. And at this level, the data, it is stored in the external hard drives in the form of bits. You can understand like 0 1, these are all bits. 0 means 1 bit, 1 means 1 bit. So these are also data in the physical level. It is stored in the hard drives in the form of bits, and at a higher level it can be said that it can be stored in the form of files, or you can say the folders. At the physical level also, compression and encryption techniques are also applied to the data that we are entering into the database. So in short, at physical level, whatever data we are storing in the database, it shows that what space it is occupying in the memory, or you can say in the physical addresses, and it is stored in the form of bits. So that is known as physical level, as well as the internal level. That means how data is internally stored inside the database. Then the second level is conceptual level. Conceptual level describes the structure of the whole database for a group of users. It is also called as data model, and it is a representation of the entire content of the database. That means conceptual level, we are referring it as a logical level also, and it describes the entire content of the database. That means what is the name of the database, what are the various tables that are stored in the database, and how these tables are related to each other, what is the relationship between these tables. And it also describes that how the database will be appear to the users conceptually. And in this table, all the data types, all the fields, these are mentioned conceptually, that will appear to the users in the form of table. So everything regarding the tables, regarding the data, regarding the database, this is all stored in the form of database, and it is represented in the conceptual level. Therefore we are calling it as a logical level also. And this level, it does not care how the data will be stored in the physical level and how data will be stored in the secondary storage devices. So it is concerned with the logical concepts of the database. Then the third level, that is the highest level, is the external level. The external level is related to the data which is viewed by individual end users. This level includes a number of user views or external schemas, and this level is closest to the users. That means the external level, it shows only the relevant content of the database to the particular users or to the number of users, but this level is not concerned that how the database is stored in the physical addresses, how the database is stored in the hard drives, and what are the various tables in the databases, and what are the various logics of that databases. So all these things, these are not concerned of the external level. It shows only the relevant database content to the users in the form of views, you can say, in the form of files, you can say, and it hides all the rest of the data. So different users, they can see the database as a different view as per their requirements. And that is why we are saying that external view, it describes the segment of the database that is required for a particular user group. Means it is showing only the relevant container for the particular user group and hiding the rest of the database from that user group. Now the next topic we will discuss is database schema. A database schema is the skeleton structure that represents the logical view of the entire database. It defines how the data is organized and how the relations among them are associated. That means schema is providing the overview of the database. It is providing the overall structure of the database. Initially, when we start designing the database, that designing, when we initially define the number of fields, when we define the number of columns, number of rows, so that particular overall structure of that database is known as the schema, and it defines all the number of fields we are using, all the number of constraints that we are applying on the database, what should be the number of columns, what should be the number of rows, how many tables should be there. So all these things are described by the database schema, and this database is designed by the database designers, which design this schema to help the programmers so that they can understand by looking at it and by looking at the database and make it useful, and they can start doing the entering the data. And in this picture also you can see the overview of all the three levels, that is the physical schema, the logical schema that is defining all the fields like student ID, student name, project ID, and the view schema. So this schema, it describes the descriptive details of the database. Now this database schema, it is divided into two categories. The first one is physical database schema. This physical database schema, it provides that how the data is stored in the secondary storage devices, or how it is stored in the hard disk. It provides all the details about that storage, and the data, it provides the data, how the actual data is stored in the form of files, in the form of folders. So all these things related to the storage, these are represented by the physical database schema. And then the second one is logical database schema. It defines all the tables, all the constraints, all the views, all the field names, all the columns, all these things, they are defined by the logical schema, and it also defines all the logical constraints that we need to apply to the data that is stored inside the database. And as you can see in this diagram also, we have a schema that shows the relationship between three tables, that is the course, student, and grade. These are all tables, and the relationship between them is shown by the schema. But you can see in this diagram, this is showing only the design of the database, that is only the fields name you can see. It doesn't show the data that is present in those tables. So therefore we call it as schema, that it shows only the structural view, only the design view of the database, but not the inside data of the database. Next, we will discuss what is an instance. The collection of information stored in the database at a particular moment is called an instance of the database. It contains a snapshot of the database, and database instances, they tend to change with time. Now what this term instance means? Instance means that whatever data we are storing in the database at a particular time, that particular record is known as the instance. See, schema means the overall structure of the database, and it defines all the physical or all the logical concepts of the database. But at a particular moment, what data is actually stored in the database, that is depicted by the instance. For example, if we have a table student, and in that database there are 100 records, so at that particular moment the instance of the database has 100 records. But let's say if two more students are added into that database, now our record becomes 102. So at that, after adding that particular moment, instance becomes 102 records. So therefore it can be deleted or it can be added, and whatever data that remains inside that database at a particular moment of time after deletion or after addition, that moment is known as the database instance. Now the next is mapping. What is a mapping? Mapping is the process of transforming request and results between any of the two levels of the logical architecture of a DBMS. That means whenever a user it requests for the data extraction from the database, then it passes a query with the help of the application to the DBMS, and then the DBMS it extracts the information from the database and pass it back to the user with the help of the database applications. Now how this entire process is going on, how it is occurring inside the DBMS. So this process to convert a request and the result from one level to another level, it is known as the mapping. That means we are transforming the various requests that we get from the user, and then we are passing back the results. So all these correspondence that is occurring between these three levels, that is the external level, conceptual level, and the internal level, all these correspondence it is shown by the mapping. Now we have two types of mapping: external conceptual mapping, and second one is conceptual and internal mapping. This description about this mapping is also stored inside the data dictionary in the same file of the data. So now let us discuss both of them one by one. The first one is conceptual and internal mapping. The conceptual and internal mapping defines the correspondence between the conceptual view and the stored database. It specifies how conceptual record and fields are represented at the internal level. That means it is specifying the correspondence between both of the levels, that is the conceptual level at which the table, field name, table, all these things are stored, and the internal level at which the database is stored in the form of bits or in the form of files. That means this conceptual internal mapping, it tells the DBMS that how that conceptual records they are physically represented in the storage devices. And if we change this storage database, if the structure of the storage database is changed, then this mapping must be changed so that we can save the data accordingly to the data file. And it is the responsibility of the database administrator to manage these changes so that we can save the data efficiently and we can prevent all the data losses, or you can say the data from the any damages. So in short, we can say that in this conceptual internal mapping, there is a relation shown between the conceptual level and the internal level, that whatever fields are there, whatever tables are there, how they are actually stored inside the physical level. This is all shown by the conceptual internal mapping. Then the next type is external and conceptual mapping. The external and conceptual mapping defines the correspondence between a particular external view and conceptual view. That means it is relating the external schema with the conceptual schema. It is showing the relationship between the external level and the conceptual level. That means this conceptual external mapping, it tells the DBMS that what object on the conceptual level they correspond to which object that is requested by a particular user's external view. And if we made any changes to either the external view or the conceptual view, then that mapping must be changed accordingly, so that in order to provide the integrity of the data and we can save the data from the damage. Now here are the important questions of the day. The first one is you have to differentiate between schema and instance. You have to explain this difference with the help of example also. And the second question is explain the DBMS architecture with its various levels. In this question you have to explain all the three levels of the DBMS, that is the physical level, the conceptual level and the external level. This question is asked many times in the examination also, so it is important from the university point of view also. So prepare them. So students, it was all about today's lecture, and in the next section we will start with the data independence. Thank you so much for watching.